So you've had the meeting, you set the time to talk with them, and now they are interested in one or all, but there's something stopping them from taking the next step. They're a 10 out of 10. They love what you do. They love your product. You've had a meeting back and forth or two already, and they trust you. But there's one little thing, right? They love you. They love your company. They love your product. But there's one thing, and maybe they were told as a kid not to work with strangers, or they have a little thing about money, and you can't get past that, right? This is what I would do within these three categories of doing website design, building out content and copywriting, and scaling and doing local SEO growth for their website. Not charging $10,000 upfront if they can't afford it or they don't want to, but they do want to work with you. No, they don't need to pay you $1,000 upfront. Maybe they just start with 1 hour of your time and they get a quick win. What that looks like, right? And we'll go through what each little step is in this value ladder, right? So we went through this, and now we're going to be talking about how to provide a value ladder and what that is. To value ladder for digital marketing. So this is, again, meant for small business owners. And what a value ladder is a monkey paw. And a monkey paw is something that sailors use to anchor to a dock. They're not going to throw the big chain on the dock. You can't just throw a massive chain to anchor this massive boat. But what they do is they tie a little rope to the chain, and they throw something off the chain to secure that to the dock. So now they can get closer to the dock and get some sort of stability, and then they can pull that rope and bring up the chain. And then you throw another monkey paw to secure another bit of the chain and bring the boat and its chain closer until they can secure that safely on the dock. We kind of do the same strategy. We don't need to ask someone to be greedy. If they get a lot of value for just an hour of our time, that's amazing. And they share that, they build testimonials. When we started doing that, we noticed that we worked with more people. When we work with more people, they are much more reasonable and they upsell faster. They work with us quicker. They refer us more work, and we just build more results. We build more case studies. So off of our LinkedIn, we wrote some blog posts. Off of our LinkedIn, we have some endorsements. We've gotten recommendations. And a lot of these were just after 1 or 2 hours of time, and for some was more than 1 or 2 hours of time. This person went out and built out a huge referral. Like it was like a page or two, and thanks a lot, Jeff, because we went through this, and they learned a lot about what we do here. And we're building these out. This is our Minneapolis location. I don't know if I can type in St. Paul and you see our St. Paul location, and we got like another one, right? And this is just from 2 days ago, because we built off this in about a week, and we had a meeting really, and they got a lot of value from that from 1 hour, and they said, I want to leave you a review. How do I do that? I was like, well, we just opened up a new office in St. Paul. Well, there you go. We just need to do more outreach with that to get people to want to come back. But for now, this is where we want to stick with. There's you can see this issue. We're not bringing people back, but at the very least, we need to get some level of results so we can bring people back. So for website design, what's the one thing that they can get a quick win from? And each of these have their own 3 steps. So the first bit of the value ladder is really just like pre-design some pages. These pages are already designed in advance on elegant themes. So again, we're able to build these out really quickly. So let's say they're a restaurant. We print off these pages, and even though it's all placeholder stuff, we do a little bit of research on, hey, instead of it saying, I'll look inside, this is what we would change it. So we would cross that off, write down like a headline and say, you know what, you gotta have 100% unique text, and even unique images help too, but this is what we would do. And so with an hour of your time, you kind of say, listen, we have these pages, this is what I kind of see this working for. And if you say okay to this, I can build it out. And that's the next step. So you pre-design the web pages with some ad copy. And then 2 is you just build it out. You build the site out, and you can use WordPress. It's free. It's literally free to develop this in. And each of these bits we're going to go through in a different video in the future, probably not anytime soon. But WordPress is something that you can host on your computer, or you can purchase a host that, you know, we have vendors, we have partners that you can use. But having a website is like $5 a month. There's some hosts that are cheap that are like $5 for a year, but if you can build off a website just like that and only pay for it minimally for $5 a month, and that attracts customers, that's one thing. So this takes about 1 hour to do this, and our hourly rate is about 100. So if you want to build the website and build that out, we've noticed that we're able to build out a massive website. Let me show you what I mean by massive. We're able to build out a website like this. We've tested this 10 times over with different websites. We're able to build out a website like this, have it target a specific keyword, because we want to show up for some of these phrases before it does the local SEO growth and do the on page. We want to grow this with many pages. So there's about like 20 or so pages in here. How we do that is that next step. So we build out the WordPress site, and it takes us about 10 to 20 hours. So you can start to see how it's about 1,000 to 2,000 to just build off a website. That's not including the content and copywriting. They could contribute, they could write their own content, they could write their own compelling text. We just want to make sure that we take what they approved up here and we make that go live. So each page takes about 1 to 8 hours, depending if they want us to do content and copywriting. But at the very least, if they just want something to go live, they just want it to look nice, they just want to have that copy, that, you know, the headline text that they wanted to be there, it's about 1,000 to 2,000. That's like 10 to 30 pages of web development. So once they're done with that, we kind of take some time and we say, here's the review process. We get some feedback and then we iterate, which means we just go back and then we take their feedback and then we just change, we make some changes to it, or we coach them on how they can take it over. So right there, they're like, okay, we like the website, but can you, or I don't like it how that sounds. They've approved all the things that they approved you to do. That's the clear scope. They've said, I want these pages with this text. That's it. You agreed to this. You did not agree to write content. You did not agree to do all these other month by month, or if they reach out to you and say, hey, do you mind if you publish this blog post for us? No, you did not agree to this. And they know this. Don't let them take advantage of you if you're a freelancer or you're trying to provide value. Instead, you can take the feedback and say, great, this is going to be another 10 hours of our time. So that's another $1,000 to do this. And they're like, oh, that's too much. It's like, you got a website for $1,000, right? Some of our websites that we sell, like our contracts, include 1 or 2 revision cycles. We didn't discuss that. You told me, Mr. Business Owner, that you did not want that, and here's where we are, right? They're gonna be like, okay, that's fair. Can you teach me how to do this? Sure. That's probably gonna be 1 to 2 hours of my time to show you this is how you make a WordPress page, this is how you edit it, and stuff like that. We provide guidance for that. And that's like a smaller ask. Instead of us doing something, now it's like, hey, we can be on retainer for this, maybe 1 or 2 hours of time per month for you to do these asks, or for me to coach you on how to do content and copywriting and scaling. What would make sense for you? Do you want me to do the work, or do you want to do the work? They figure that out. And so something like that is, again, maybe 200 to 500 a month just to do maintenance, or coaching, which is just to make sure the website gets updated with the stuff they want to do, and for you to kind of be like their partner to make the changes. If they say, you know what, we want to run an ad, or we want to make a page on our website, you say, okay, cool. making a new page takes, again, like 1 or 2 hours, I'll do that for you off of our retainer. And then you build out the page and you say, listen, I've done 3 hours. I'll just do that for you for the month, and then we'll talk next month. And we're like, no, I need you to do this too. It's like, okay, well, we're out of retainer, we're out of funding. What next? So they increase that. They understand the value you bring. And then you can ask for more because they need you more, right? They're not going to hire someone else at this point because you've built it from the ground up. You've walked them through. You've incorporated their feedback from the very beginning, built it to what they wanted, and you've built it again and again, reworked it to where they've gotten it. So there's like this mutual understanding that what you're doing for them is helping them grow. And if you're not like, if your ego is not huge and you're humble and you're growing and learning, they're going to want to see you go. They love working and seeing people provide the results that they want, right? So from there, that's how you get the website design going and how you can build a retainer off of building a website. Sometimes I do something like, most of our packages are $1,000 or $12,000 for the year, where they get all of this for 1 year. So they get a website made, and basically they get as much as they want. They just ask us, and we'll just do it. So we get that up front, and then we just do that for them. We build out as many pages as they want within within a week turnaround. They say, I want this page done with this amount of design done. I'm like, cool. Give us about a week and we'll do it. I hand that to a developer. They work on it. They probably spend 1 or 2 days on it. And then boom, it's amazing. So that's what the high level ask would be. So they get through the monkey paw of pre-designing, building that out, getting feedback. And then they're like, you know what? I just want you to handle this. That's what that looks like. So that's kind of what the content and copywriting kind of looks like. But let's say they already have a website. This is where this step comes in, this next box. Let's say they already have a website. They just want to have it sound and do more, and have it do more for them. Make it more compelling, or have it produce more value for their customers. So what do they do next? They think about, you guys work together, and after the meeting, they ask you, they want to know what they kind of want. So after you listen to them, you kind of figure out it could be one of two things. It would be kind of working on the website to write content, to write text, or to provide video content. And these things are done in advance. And let me show you what I mean. We have these videos that are targeted for different industries. There's just a ton of these videos that we've done writing content. And if you remember the Google Analytics video that we have, the longer a person stays on the website, the more return that you get. They stay on the website longer, which is a behavioral signal that Google notices and understands, and it says something like, hey, people are staying on this website. That must be the website that they want to be a part of. So we have these videos for all these different industries, right? There's a lot of videos. And let me just go through some HVAC videos. We have voiceovers in American and English, like English, and some of them are tailored for the business owner, but some of them are just marketed for someone trying to search for our service. So here's...
Do you run a top HVAC company? Are you sick and tired of seeing your competitors get all the business, when you're the one who can do the job with the professionalism customers seek? Enough of posting ads in papers. It's time to step into the future of marketing and ignite the future of your HVAC business with a dynamic and unforgettable video. The thing is, an ad in the paper simply isn't going to cut it anymore. We live in a world that relies on visual stimulation, thriving off...
You get it. So it goes all the way through, and that's what it looked like if someone wanted to work with us, but we have videos for the business to find their ideal customers.
Sometimes feeling intoxicated isn't always as romantic as it sounds. Unfresh air is not only unpleasant, but can present a variety of health problems too, such as allergies, respiratory illnesses, and beyond. Desperate for a breath of fresh air? Say hello to your new partner and ally in keeping polluted air where it belongs, out of your home. We pride ourselves on our ability to bring energy-efficient solutions.
You get it, right?
First menu of indoor ultimate.
So we have these videos already made, and imagine they get their logo on it, and then it shows up in where they want it to be shown. That's really it. How would they like that digital billboard to really market their business 24/7, and they don't have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars, right? So the first step with that, if it's video content or text content, first off, they kind of see things that are built in advance. So they approve the advanced copies of a video or text. We have text, like text content, like, like 7 reasons why you want to hire an HVAC company already written, right? We have like thousands of these bits. So they look at this and say, we can use this. I'm like, yeah, you can post this. We have 500 blog posts for a tax advisor. They can just use it, right? And we have to, it's not stolen. It's like we've written it and we've rewritten it to a point where you just got to rewrite it and it's done. And the results from that is just the same. It's finished in advance. So they approve it and say, you know what, I want to use this, and then you just receive it. So video, the retail price of a video is like between 100 to 300. It's really whatever that they want to pay for it. Not less than 100, not more than 300. It's whatever. And for text, it's about $10 per article. And so these are things that are done in advance, that are prepared, and then we just give it to them. We just say, listen, you're going to figure out how to use it. They're going to say, what? It's like, we can provide insight on how you can get like a lot of return from it, but here you go. They're going to be like, okay. They're going to upload it on YouTube. They're going to put it on their website. They're going to put it on their Facebook and be like, it's not generating calls. It's not doing anything for us. I was like, yeah, it's because you haven't done the next step, which obviously you talk about when you, at the end of each step. You kind of say, well, you got to brand it. We can brand it with your logo, with contact information, and then upload it to the right sites. So you upload it to the right places, and then you can also sync it so it automatically uploads to the right locations on time. And what I mean by that is you can have a blog post show up on Facebook or LinkedIn every day at the same time, right? And you can do that 365 days. You can do that multiple times a day. And if it's consistent with a blog post, people are going to be noticing your name. Like the business owner is going to be noticing their business owner's name everywhere again and again and again and again. And that's just good marketing. So that would be the step for that. Do they want us to do the execution of it so people see it? First off, that is accessible. And again, that's another, another 100 or 200 per order, right? So right there, a package price would be about like 500 for steps 1 and 2. Sometimes you just want the video and say thanks. Okay. We give them the script for it. We give them the audio. We give them a version where it doesn't have English or there's no voiceover. We give them that. We just give them the source files. Or we take it and we edit it a little bit with text or with a logo, with their phone number. Things that they might not know how to do video editing for. And it's super easy. It takes us maybe 1 or 2 hours to do, but we've invested the time to be able to do it so fast. They get a lot of value for this. But after that, how do they find these articles? How will they find these videos? How will they be able to find the content? And that's really what the next step is. So it's kind of like highlighting this. The website design leads into the content and copy, and that leads to the local SEO, right? How can you connect to these businesses? How can you relate to these businesses in a way that they know that they want to be able to get more return from what they do? And I'm trying to see something on my end here. I maybe just be searching into nothing. How can we rank these on YouTube? How can these show up on the second most popular search engine in a way that if people are trying to find these businesses, they're able, let me see. I want to find the results that we've had earlier that my SEO guy put out. Well, I'm not able to find it in Slack. Video, YouTube. Well, we're able to manipulate YouTube for these videos. So if you're able to take a video and upload it, there's some things that you can do so your video shows up not only here, but if I type, I don't know, I'm just typing in anything. I don't know if you show up for this. It could be able to show up for something like this in here. And in order to do something like this, you really just got to do some optimization work. This person kind of, hey, no, wait, no, that's us. No, I didn't even notice that. That is us. Okay. Ooh. So this is our video for Minneapolis SEO expert. I did not know this was a thing. This is news to us. So we uploaded this. Minneapolis SEO services, 500 views within a week. This is brand new to me right now. And it has Minneapolis SEO services, SEO Minneapolis, and best Minneapolis. People are finding this. And that's opportunities, and probably why I got some phone calls that I weren't expecting. I didn't know this. That's awesome. For your free SEO consult, visit this website, Minneapolis SEO Services, and it's an article inside a YouTube post. And it has our address, it has some stuff in here. So that's awesome. So we're able to do this and manipulate this, and for us to show up from Minneapolis SEO, which is a very competitive keyword. Woo, that's a good part of my day. So we do YouTube ranking for videos and for content, for individual pieces of content. And so for the individual pieces of content, let's say you write the how-to of your let's say you do HVAC and you're like how to do an installation, how to determine the air quality of your unit, right? And you have like 10 steps. You want people to see these 10 steps and realize, hey, now I know that my air quality sucks. I can hire these guys. How can you manipulate the search engines to do that? And it's a step-by-step process. But to do ranking for videos, even if it's a one-time thing, you can see the value of that, of getting 500 people. Oh, cool. The value of getting 400, 500 people to see a bit of your marketing every month. And then when we're done, we don't have to do anything more. Minneapolis SEO is probably the most competitive keyword that we can do. And we showed up for the top for YouTube, which is the second most. I can't believe that. That's amazing. My team is amazing. So the cost to do something like this, it's somewhere between 500 to about 1,500, depending on the level of value that brings. I would probably pay $1,000 to get that video ranked on other cities. For Minneapolis, for all the cities around, if I can take that and write an article, manipulate Google and YouTube, so that shows up in both Google and YouTube, that's a no-brainer. So I'm pretty sure it does. I saw it initially under Google, but anyway, we would charge based on the value that they have. But if it's one video or one piece of content, and you just want to show up for one keyword, 500 produces a lot of value. Like one phone call from that video per month pays for the setup, and then every month is just profit. So that's the content and copywriting. So scaling for local SEO, what that kind of looks like is really, does your website have the right on-page work? Is it prepared? And will it show up in these local links? Does it show up for this? If I type in St. Paul SEO, which we just moved here and opened up this office last week, we applied to Google My Business. I don't know if I still have a flyer for it in my office. I think I was trying to save it somewhere. I'm not, okay, well, you get a little envelope from Google that says, are you at this address, right? And then you can show up at this address, but then there's other people in your city. We're not really in downtown at St. Paul, but we show up because we're here, right? If I'm in downtown, Or if I'm outside of St. Paul, we show up number 2. But that's, these guys show up at the top because they've been here longer. But there's a lot of these factors. And in the last video, we talked about what those factors are and how the value ladder kind of gets built into this. So the first step, that anyone that has a website that has content, like it's prepared to generate sales and to grow, they have a website design, they have some level of compelling text, they just need people. They need people looking at and visiting their website. How do they do that? Is the first step is really just to build trust, and that's to have us do an audit and a strategy session. So what the audit looks like is, again, it's 1 hour of our time. What it looks like is me taking a look at their website. They kind of do this thing where I have this thing where I kind of look at a website using a tool like Ahrefs. Maybe I put in something, Premier Health MN. Maybe I take a look at this website and I notice some things, right? I notice some things, and it's things that I fully understand. And if they want to break into and get more market share, they want to get more people going, or they want to stop losing out on opportunity, I notice what needs to be done to do that. So as that's searching and crawling and understanding about this website, I kind of pour through the data, and that's about 15 minutes to an hour, and then whatever's filler is a one-to-one call with the business owner to go over the data, saying, listen, you're missing out on this, you're not doing this, and if you do this, you're going to get this level of return. They say something like, okay, that's interesting, I didn't know this before, and now I know, and they learn something. Someone like me that has invested tens of thousands of dollars in continuing digital marketing education to get that kind of distilled precisely in a webinar like this, or as a one-to-one conversation, kind of makes sense for the business owner. And then they ask, so what can we do? How can I solve this problem? And the easiest solution for a lot of business owners is not to do all this off-page, relationship building, having websites linked to you, but really just fixing what they have right now. We call this on-page. So on-page work is about, it's about 700 to 1,000 because it's about 7 to 10 hours. And so what that kind of looks like is going through the website that they have. So let me bring up my website again. Going through the website they have and optimizing it for the keyword that they want to go for in the right places, because we know the return of something like this. So I don't know why Ahrefs isn't opening. I do have like a ton of windows open, but I want to have it show up for Digital Strategist because no one is ranking for this. It's like what does a digital strategist do? There's no company that talks about how they are a digital strategist right now, which is interesting. But I look through, in the audit, I look at opportunities, I look at numbers, I look at competitors, and then I take that research and apply it to the website. So this right here is 1,700 keywords that I looked at by difficulty and how lucrative it is. And I take this and I apply it. So I noticed that if Digital Strategist brings in 1.7 thousand people, like people are typing in Digital Strategist 1.7 thousand times per month, and it's really easy to break into. People are paying $13 to show up there, but I could optimize my website, build off a few backlinks to the homepage, and then I get that. I get like a third of that. I get 500 people going to my website just because I have Digital Strategist. How crazy would that be? And we're anticipating getting that by December, or by early 2019, because we say it. We say it here, we build it here, and the missing piece of the puzzle is backlinks, right? We've covered that in our main presentation. We've covered that in the main presentation. And you can get that free presentation on the homepage on what really what that is, but that's the most important thing. That is what separates the men from the boys. It separates the small independent, companies from the big sharks, the big companies. I had a roofer talk to me and say, you know what, I don't think it's possible for me to compete with a multi-million-dollar roofing company that have multiple teams. I'm like, you work in your city, right? It's like, yeah. Your office is in your city, right? Yes, yeah. And they're headquartered like in New York City or in downtown Minneapolis, and you're out in the suburbs, yeah. So if someone's in your city looking for you, you should win. It's like, no, I don't believe so. You can. You just need to have more business citations and backlinks to your page, so that page shows up locally or nationwide. You got to have a focus. So business citations, again, based on that YouTube video that you saw, it had our address on it. That's a business citation. It had our name, address, and phone number precisely in the right way that our pages are all comprehensively saying. What I mean by that is, if you type in the name of my business, if you type in the name of our business, not like that, St. Paul. If you type in Web Strategy Viking, you can see these listings here. You can see how this name has this address and it has a phone number associated with that, and kind of we want people to know that we are at this address, and it creates prominence. We have another webinar where we talk about prominence, and we have a blog post we put out on how to build business citations, but I do want to touch on what that looks like. I'm opening up an Excel of what this looks like. Oh, good God. It's got passwords on it. Yikes. Anyway, I'll just share this with you. So these are links to these business directories, right? It tells us exactly what these links are and what they kind of look like. So what this kind of looks like, if I open this up, whatever directory this is, it's a business citation, it's a directory, it's a bunch of websites talking about my company in the same exact way, with the address, with the phone number, with my logo, with the description, and it's all saying this. This is getting 11 views. Somehow, I've never clicked on this ever, and 11 people saw this. So people are seeing this, they're clicking on the link, they're going around, they're finding this page, and that's how I got up here. My return is probably 1 or 2 phone calls a month, right? That's the time it takes for me to do this citation and backlink building. Now, I'm investing a lot of time in myself, but for doing local SEO, it's about 1,000 to upwards of like maybe 5,000 to build out these business citations, to be able to make sure everything stays precisely. But that's essentially it. If you're able to build out these citations and these business citations in the right way, in the right order, in the right frequency, the right, you don't want to do it once and have it be done. You want to keep doing it. If it's all spammy all at once, then you don't do any more. It's not so good. So that's about 10 to 50 hours per month, depending on how much you want to break into in different keywords. That was just for one web page. That was for one point on the map. I want to target Burnsville. I want to target Minneapolis eventually again on the local map packs. So for backlink building, that's how you get to those blue links. That's how someone, here, did I completely mess this up? No, that's how someone is able to show up on those 10 blue links. So when someone types in St. Paul SEO, they show up instead of us. And the way we see this, the way we understand that is the level of backlinks. And we've covered this again, but real quick, it's the level of referring domains that link out to us. They only have 8 referring domains linking to their page, right? They have 146 links to their page, and it's from 8 different websites. So it's there. It's kind of it's a good spread, but they're getting 17 people to see that page every month, right? They're getting 17 people to click on this every month. So I understand that's about a third, and they're doing that because they have 8 referring domains. So if I have more referring domains, if I have more people linking to my website, which is this page, just this page on whatever that I have more people linking to this page, I will rank higher and beat these guys, right? So it says Greater Twin Cities, lead generation, blah, blah, blah. And I did have a St. Paul SEO page here that I wanted. I don't know why it shows up here. But I had one specifically for St. Paul. I think this is the page that I wanted to show up because it is, you know, St. Paul. It's optimized for that. St. Paul. I don't know why it doesn't have that in there, but anyway, I'll try again later. But this page needs to have more referring domains. So right now, and time, this page has been around for a while. So I need to have more referring domains than them. And let's see. Oh, it's taking some time to search. Let me move that off to the side. So that's really it. That's the big picture in a nutshell. It's building a website, building it off so people like to work with that company, builds trust, and then having people find that and say, you know what, I trust this company. I like what they say. I like what they're showing me, and I want to work with them. And the work to do all of that could be done in a series of campaigns. It could be done maybe once, but it starts with that first step. It starts with just understanding what they need and then asking, hey, do you want us to just pre-design you some pages? Or, hey, you saw these videos, do you want one? I can just give you it. It's $100. Or, hey, do you want to know exactly what's going on with your website and understand why it's doing it? It's just $100, right? And if they're not willing to just spend an hour of your time for $100 to solve a problem that they have, that they know is probably worth tens of maybe 6 figures worth of revenue for their business, it's not worth their time. So with the last video, I'll be talking about really how to get to that point to say, you know what, we've talked about these things. It's time to take the next step and maybe do something month by month. How can we kind of do all of this month by month and what that kind of looks like? And I'll talk about that once everything's said and done. But I hope you got some value from this. And if you got any value, be sure to share this. I'm not trying to keep this secret. But if you know of anyone that really does appreciate this, for every person you share this with, oh, there's going to be a lot of good that it'll do. So anyway, I appreciate that you're looking at this, and I'll look forward to meeting with you later. Oh, there is a button near this video. You can click that to reach out if you wanted to talk to me. And I like to do like a Q&A. If you have questions, you can always reach out to me. Anyway, thanks a lot.